Hey guys, I know it's been a while since I did my last video, back in March or April of this year, and we're now December, but there is a reason for that, and the reason is I sold my Trans Am back in April. It was one of those things that I'd always had another car in the back of my mind that I wanted to own. It's a car that I'd owned 26 years ago, and I'd sort of wanted to have another one, but almost a better version of the one that I'd had before. This car's a couple of decades newer, so something that I feel more sort of confident in going further afield in, more confident driving in modern traffic, not worrying so much if I get stuck in traffic and overheating, that sort of thing. Not that the Trans Am ever did, but it's always something that's sort of front of your mind when you are driving in sort of the modern traffic of today, particularly around where I live. So that was kind of the decision behind why I thought, you know what, I'm going to move on from the Trans Am. As much as I love it, it was one of my bucket list cars. I've had the pleasure, I've been fortunate enough to own one like that, and I just felt it was time to move on. But I bought my new car almost immediately after selling the Trans Am, but I've sort of contemplated since April, do I carry on with this channel, bearing in mind the Trans Am Obsession name? And I thought, yeah, why not? It's just the name of the channel. I can continue making some videos and showing you the journey that I'm going through with my new car. So I shall reveal that in a minute and give you a little bit of what I've done to it and what I plan to do to it. But yeah, already since I've had the car, it's just, say, it's over 2 decades newer. It's just more, in my personal opinion, more of a capable car for modern roads. My wife and I, we've already gone a lot further afield in it because I've got more confidence with it. And enjoying the car, well, enjoying the car in a different way. We're going to shows and stuff like that are further afield. So yeah, for me, it was the Trans Am. I loved it. If I'd had the space and I had the money, I'd probably have kept it as well as buying this new one, but I'm not in that position. It's kind of one car at a time for me, really. So there's been loads of cars on my bucket list, and I've been fortunate enough to own a lot of them. There's still some cars on my bucket list that maybe one day I'll be fortunate enough to own. But for now, this is the car that I decided to go with. Like I said, I did have one before. It was my daily 26 years ago, whenever it was, which is quite remarkable, really, because it's now a classic car. I'm saying it used to be my daily car. But this is, for me, the better version of the car that I used to have, something that I wanted to have at that time, but they just weren't available, or they were out of my price range at the time. So yeah, this is a better version of it, and something that, like I said, has always been in the back of my mind that I'd wanted another one. So yeah, I'll show you what that car is. So here it is. It's a 1993 Toyota Supra twin turbo, and it's the UK spec. I believe there was only about 670 of these produced for the UK market. The car I initially had all those years ago was also a twin turbo variant, but it was the JDM, or the Japanese import version. And when you actually look through some of the differences between the UK car and the Japanese ones, there's quite a considerable amount of differences on the UK model. I won't go into all of those on this video, but I'd always wanted a UK spec car, firstly because of the rarity, and secondly because a lot of the parts on the UK car were different. The respect slightly better in some ways. Some people might argue that, but for me, I always wanted the UK one for the differences that you got on the UK model specifically, and I said, and the rarity side of it. Not saying it's any more of an investment over a JDM one, but when you do look at the UK prices or UK Supra prices, they do tend to sort of fetch a little bit more money. So just to give you a little background on this one, it's a 2-owner car. It had 55,000 miles on it when I got it. The last owner had owned it for a considerable amount of time and kept it garaged, and generally sort of looked after it and serviced it. The car, when I bought it, was absolutely factory original. Everything was, even down to the cassette player. It was literally how it left the factory in 1993. So for a lot of people who know a bit about these cars, that's quite rare in itself, because a lot of people tended to tune them and get massive horsepower figures out of them. So to find one, I wanted one specifically that hadn't been tuned. I wanted one as close to factory spec as possible, and a UK spec car as well. So it was quite hard to find one. So I'd been looking for a little while before I decided and took the plunge and sold my Trans Am, and I finally found this one. I had to travel over 300 miles with a friend of mine to go and buy the car and drive it home, which is always nervous as well when you drive a car that far, especially cars like these now. They're sitting in garages not doing a great deal of mileage, but it drove 300 miles home, absolutely didn't miss a beat. So yeah, it's totally original, or was, till I got my hands on it. But my plan is, in terms of mechanically, engine wise, I'm going to leave the car as factory original as I can. I think they say they're harder to find them now in this condition, where they've not been tuned to like 1,000+ horsepower and absolutely ragged. So I want one that's, so I know what it is. It's not been got at. It's been owned by an old guy for donkey's years. So let me talk you through some of the upgrades I've done to the car. And like with my Trans Am, I tend to, if I do upgrade things, I like to try and do it in a way that it can be returned back to factory easily. So the first thing I changed were the wheels. I put some 18-inch bronze wheels on it. I just think these cars look so much better without the original factory wheels. So that was the first upgrade I did, but I've kept the factory wheels. They're all boxed up in my shed and they'll stay with the car, so it's easy to put it back to original. One of the other upgrades I did interior wise was the cassette player. It had a single DIN cassette player. All the factory speakers were literally knackered. So I've put a Pioneer touchscreen in there. I've replaced all the speakers front and rear. You wouldn't know because they sit behind the factory grills, but I've got some nice JBLs in there. And again, when I did the stereo, you can buy these ISO leads now, so you don't even have to cut into the original loom. It's literally take the original cassette player out, put this ISO harness in, and then connect your new hi-fi in. And you don't have to even cut a cable. So again, it's all perfectly reversible. Should I ever want to put it back to original factory spec, pull that out, pull the ISO lead out, and bang, I can put my original cassette player back in. Not that I'd probably ever want to, but yeah, again, it goes back to what I said earlier. It's nice to have some sort of modern conveniences. So with the touchscreen now, I've got my Apple CarPlay, I've got a sat nav, I've got hands-free phone. I've put a reverse camera on as well, because the visibility this is not great with the big spoiler on the back. I've put a DAB aerial in there. So yeah, it's, for me, modern conveniences in a what I call sort of more of a modern classic car. It just suits the car. The UK spec ones, I think most of them came with this cream leather. Electric seats on the driver's side. It did have from factory, the UK one's also got a an alarm system, which that didn't work. So I spent quite a bit of time removing that, all the siren and the loom under the bonnet. There were some ECUs under the seat. I removed all of those, all the cabling in the car, and removed it back to the ECU, and put a secondary central locking unit, like just a general one in the footwell over there. So I've got remote central locking on the car as well. I've done a few other jobs inside, turbo timer, lots and lots of little jobs, cleaning stuff, and I've got some new sort of mats coming for Christmas, some rubber mats just for winter, because as lovely as this cream interior is, it's a bit of a nightmare in the winter not to sort of spoil the mats, and I've steam cleaned them a few times. So yeah, it'd be nice to have some rubber mats over winter time. So along with the speakers, I decided to fit myself a nice little subwoofer in the boot as well. I do like a bit of music. But again, the condition of the car, I mean, everything's so original, all the tools. There was one spanner missing. I managed to locate one of those on eBay, the correct one. But I say, the car's just like new in a lot of places. It's yeah, quite remarkable, really. Again, I've done my usual thing, which I do to most cars, a lot of lighting and stuff like that. I've upgraded to LEDs. I've put an extra light bar in there because it's not great. Interior lighting, footwell lights, glove box lights, interior lights, all those sort of, I've upgraded those to LEDs. I've done the same with the exterior. All the exterior lighting I've upgraded again to LEDs. The only thing I haven't done is the headlights on this. I've just got to check MOT regs to see where I stand with that. I have converted my park lights with a 5-pin relay, so that they double up now as park lights and day running lights. Those I have put a little LED bulb in. We'll see what the MOT man says next year. So again, I do tend to do it to all my classics. I try and upgrade the lighting because people are used to brighter lighting and day running lights on cars now. Again, so it just makes it safer. One of the other upgrades I've done away from factory specifications is the exhaust. I've done a full catback system, HKS. I can't remember the particular model of it. I'd have to check the paperwork, but it's yeah, a really nice system. Just gives it a nice little deep burble on the idle, because the factory exhausts on these that make the car so quiet, and I just wanted a little bit of noise. But again, up there I've kept the original exhaust system, which will stay with the car. When I took the car into the main dealer just after I had it, just to get a couple of bits done to the car, they were absolutely amazed at how original the car was, even down to the original exhaust. So as much as yeah, I love the originality, I still want to have a little bit of noise and a little bit of a cosmetic upgrades with wheels. But I say those bits will stay with the car. It didn't come with the roof spoiler. I managed to find a genuine Toyota roof spoiler on eBay. I just always loved the look of these on the car, and it didn't come with the rear bumper inserts. Again, I found some genuine Toyota ones on eBay and fitted those. Again, I just love them, I always did. So there was loads of things I say I wanted to do to my first one, but it was kind of my daily car all those years ago. and I wanted to make sure that when I bought another one, I got the one I actually wanted, so the UK one. I'll just pull the bonnet up. So there's the 2JZ GTE twin turbo engine. Again, it's totally original from factory. It's not been messed with at all. I have put a performance air filter in there. I didn't want to go the route of taking all that out and putting the big induction kit. So I just replaced the air filter with a K&N sports filter. So you keep all the original air ducting, because a lot of this sort of stuff now is getting really hard to find. So many people, I was the same with my first one, that all came out, I put a massive induction kit on it, chucked it all in the bin, as I suppose a lot of people have done over the years. But now these cars are tending to fetch a bit more money the more original they are. So in terms of servicing wise, what I've done to the car, I know the previous owner sort of serviced it a bit himself, but I still like to go through the whole car front to back. So I've done oil and filters, I've done drive belt so far. I'm in the process of changing some of the pulleys. They were just rusty and horrible. By the time you mess around trying to take them off, clean them and powder coat them or whatever, I'm going for the lightweight aluminium ones. Again, the original ones will be boxed up and will stay with the car. So yeah, a couple of pulleys have been done so far. I've done quite a bit of detailing under the engine bay, cleaning clamps and aluminium and painting certain brackets and nuts and bolts. Put a new battery on it. The battery that came with the car was too small, just looked odd. I've done new top hose. Is going to go in the new year. I'm gradually stockpiling all the parts with the Black Friday deals, and I'm going to have the cam belt done, although it's not due according to the records for another year or so. It's just peace of mind for me, so I'm going to do the cam belt tensioner, pulley, cam belt idler pulley, new water pump which I recommend, thermostats, gaskets, O-rings. I want to do the front crank seal while it's all out. Possibly the front camshaft seals, we'll see what they're like, and then rocker cover gaskets. I've got a new crank pulley to go on. It's still got the original factory one on there, and they can be a bit, after age and mileage, they have been known to separate the damper part of the pulley. So I've ordered one of those up again on a Black Friday deal, which was under half the original retail value, so really pleased about that. I've done new plugs, I've done new coil packs, every coil pack, the coil pack connectors as well, they were all just loose. Just over time the plastic becomes brittle, so I bought all the new plastic connectors, so they're all done. The side mount intercooler in there, that was yeah, just falling apart. It was so bunged up with dead insects and road dirt, you couldn't clean it because it would literally just fall apart even with a soft brush. So yeah, it's had a brand new performance intercooler in the side there. So other bits I've done to the car so far, I've done discs and pads front and rear. I've had things like the diff oil changed, so exhaust has been done, all new mounts. I've just done the rear exhaust mount. I've done anti-roll bar drop links on all four corners because they were all a bit squidgy and past their best. I'm deciding what I'm going to do with suspension next year. I know it's low mileage, but it's still a 32-year-old car now, and I'm deciding whether I'm going to put new sort of factory shocks on it, or I might go the route of some nice adjustable coilovers. Probably go the HKS route. I think they've got some good reviews for these cars. So yeah, priorities, getting the cam belt and that done in the new year. Company's going to do it for me, SRD. I'll get it booked in with them in the new year. But I say, I've had power steering fluid all flushed and changed because that was just black. Brake fluid's been flushed and changed. I had a new top hose, fresh coolant, new radiator cap because that was it was just leaking through the age. Again, the same with the oil filler cap, that was just seep in, so I put a new oil filler cap in there. I did manage to find a driver's side headlight. The UK ones are different because they are glass headlights, not plastic ones, and that one was misting up all the time, so I found a really decent second-hand one, glass, on eBay, so I've changed that. So yeah, generally it's just going through the car, servicing it totally how I want it, making some improvements, i.e. with, say, the cosmetics, the sound, music, stereos, all that kind of stuff. I want the car how I want it, but I say I want to be able to do it in a way that it can all be put back if someone wants that originality. I have thought about, do I go the route of tuning the engine and getting boost controllers on there, and I'm still in two minds of that at the moment, because I say it's just a shame the car is so original. I mean, they were very quick cars in their day, but by today's standards now, they're not. Don't get me wrong, they're still a quick car, but there's a lot of more modern cars out there now that will embarrass you. So I didn't buy it for performance reasons necessarily. It's the UK Supra I wanted, so I've got to resist sort of going that route with tuning it, because I say it's so original. But as things wear out on the car, and as you replace some parts, you can't get OEM anymore, like the side intercooler. The only sort of, all you can do is either put an upgraded one in there, or a lot of people go the centre mount route. But I don't want to go that route, because I have the active spoiler on the front, so that spoiler goes up and down with speed. Again, it was something that was standard on the UK models, so I love that feature. I just think it looks cool when you drop it down like that. So I'm sticking with the side mount intercooler, because I'm not planning on going huge horsepower figures, and I don't need the big centre intercooler. So yeah, that's basically what I've got and where I am with it at the moment. Like I said, I love my Trans Am. It was one of those cars, if I had the space and I had the money, I would have kept that and this, but I only have the space for one car at a time, so I just made that sort of hard decision to go, do you know what, I've had that car, something I wanted for a long time, and now I'm ready to move on and get something like this. I mean, to say this is a lot more capable in terms of driving with modern traffic. You get stuck in traffic, you're not paranoid looking at the temperature gauge on this all the time. It's that sort of thing. It just, for me, it's more relaxed, but much more capable. And me and my wife, we do go a lot further afield in this car now, because you just have a lot more confidence in it. I know it's 32 years old, but in a lot of ways it still drives like a modern car. So yeah, I get the best of both worlds. I get something that's say a bit easier to live with, a bit more modern, will keep up with modern traffic, but it's still a classic car. I can still tinker and work on it myself. There's some jobs I won't do myself, probably the cam belt. I'll just get that done. But I say, it's still that sort of car you can play with, you can tinker with, you can improve, but you can just genuinely enjoy. And I say, I loved these cars. I had one all those years ago and always promised myself that I'd get another one, but the UK one. And what I might do in my next video is go through some of the differences that I know of between the UKspec Supra and the JDM one. So yeah, so apologies it's been so long since I've done a video. I was sort of contemplating whether I carry on with my current channel, bearing in mind that say that the channel name, but I think I'm going to. You just see my sort of journey with this car. Yeah, and I'll keep it going through that channel. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed the update video today. There's plenty more I've got planned to do with the car. So I've got a few things coming from Santa in the next couple of weeks, so I can do another little update video on some of the jobs I'll be doing. But yeah, it's been great to do a video. So apologies for the time scales, but hope you enjoy this, and I'll see you on the next one.